Give me just one day.
Fluent and chill, where the takes stay real. Chill town, hoop sports, fluent with the feel. Break down sharp like a highlight reel. Welcome to the show, we stay fluent and chill.
You know, it's always funny. I laugh because when I hit go live on the YouTube, we hear the music in our ears. TikTok can't hear it. What up, TikTok?
Which is unfortunate because it's a dope intro. Because it is a dope intro.
I will listen. I'm talking to the people at TikTok. Their studio just doesn't work with Macs.
I don't know what the problem is, but hit Tone go again with the candy. Let me tell you about my man, right? Okay, this started a couple of years back with the cappuccino, right? And the coffee. My man, he comes on. I don't want coffee. I don't drink coffee, but now he got the chocolate. I'm like, Tone, pass off. What you doing?
I have a problem with chocolate though. It's not a good thing. Like I'm already known by people as like Tone will skip dinner and go to dessert.
Do we need to call somebody, Tone? Do we have a problem? Like, we might have to call somebody?
I feel like
or do you have it under control?
No, it's not under control.
Not at all.
I can, the first step of solving a problem is admitting you have one.
Sure.
I 100% have a problem. I don't know what to do about that problem.
Tone, I'm figuring Tone. Okay, some people have problems, but it's a problem that I have under control. It's not gonna spread like wildfire.
Listen, I don't smoke. I don't drink.
That's good.
I don't do drugs. I don't gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Like of all the vices, this is my thing. So
I think the good thing though, Tone, is that
like it could be worse.
That's what I was about to say.
It could be like I'm at the casino all night, and or I'm doing, like there's a lot of other.
We call it the booger sugar for those of you that don't know. Yeah,
yes, I could.
We call it the booger sugar,
like an '80s hooper. I could have been, but
no, that's not. But it sounds like you still legit. So what's up, my man? I ain't seen you in a couple of days. What's going on with you, brother?
When we skip a week, it's weird.
It is, right?
It is. Although I feel like we still messaged when certain things happen. Like, okay, I wanted to get your take on this because I know we normally start the show with one of my rants, and I don't know so much as this is a rant, although it might turn into a rant. But before we got here, the Atlanta Hawks had scheduled a Magic City promo night for the Hawks game, and it sparked a lot of controversy, and they ended up canceling it. And the people of Atlanta were like, "No, this is our culture. Why are they doing this in a league that promotes gambling, in a league that promotes alcohol? Why can't we have I call it stripper night, but why can't we have a night dedicated to a staple in the Atlanta area, in the greater Atlanta area, in Magic City?"
Yep.
I was very outspoken about the fact that, no, I don't think they should. But not because, and there was like, why, you don't know Atlanta. I go, no, I do know Atlanta. I've been to Freaknik. I know Atlanta. I know Magic City. In fact, I never had a lemon pepper wing, and now they're my favorite because of Magic City. However, I also disagree with, this, gambling and having FanDuel and players associated with them and promoting it and the alcohol in the, like every fight I have seen in a stadium has been due to alcohol. So to now, I made it, I trolled a little bit and I was like, I ain't bringing strippers. Like, why are you bringing strippers I'm not bringing strippers to the stadium. Listen, you want to take your sons and daughters to go see strippers? Go ahead. But you can't bring them to where I paid a ticket to go see. And I know it wasn't about the strippers. And I know they said they weren't going to be there. But let's be honest, if it was Magic City night, they were going to be there. I don't like any of it. So it's not like I was picking specifically that.
Right.
I'm saying, I don't like the book presented by Bacardi. I don't like that either.
No.
Because it's now, I will say this. You want to have an 8:30 game, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock game that is 21 plus, 19 plus, whatever the age you want to pick, and say, we're going to do, I'm all for it. No problem. I just don't want a 6-year-old kid sitting there going, what's Magic City? And then you got to explain.
Yeah.
That's all. So it's not about Magic City. Love the place.
Yep.
Just I don't like the gambling or the alcohol or that. I'm not for any of it.
I think that's where my issue is, Tone. My issue is not Magic City. My issue is that's where you draw the line. And that's my biggest problem. And don't get me wrong, I do understand, right? Yeah. I do understand that the line has to get drawn somewhere. Right? I get that part, right? At some point, somebody got to say something. Like, we can't just keep letting things go on. But like, this is where you draw the line. This is where you go, nah, we're not going past this right here. Oh man, I think that's a little much. Tone, you being a football guy, the Eagles had a jail underneath the stadium. And the reason why they had a jail in the stadium is because people didn't know how to act when they got liquored up.
Well, that's Philly.
No, it's also Philly. They booed Santa Claus.
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah, maybe Philly's a bad example. But arenas like Orlando, they don't not just Orlando, but Miami, they don't sell alcohol after the third quarter, right? And that's largely due to fans being unruly and fans being out of control. And I get that. I 100% get that. I think that if we're going to do something like that, and you're going to be outraged about something, I have no issue with you being outraged, but if you're going to be outraged about something, the line can't be drawn with ass shaking, because we see 100%. That every day. I see that every day. And me explaining to my 10-year-old nephew or my 11-year-old niece about, exotic dancers is not nearly as bad as me as a 10-year-old with my 5-year-old brother explaining to my 5-year-old brother why my stepfather got into a fight outside after we went to go see the Harlem Globetrotters because he was liquored up. That's the difference.
And that's why I say I'm not a hypocrite. And I disagree with the people who say this is the one I disagree with. I also disagree a little bit with it's part of our culture. I don't know.
Here's the thing, Toe. Why is that an issue for you? But
I know it's not an issue. I'm saying I don't know. Is it part of the
being from the South, living in the South, not from the South, from the Northeast, but living in the South? That's very much the culture down here. Big wheels on cars, loud music, a lot of ass shaking. Yes, that's very much the culture.
I'm with all that. I enjoy all of that. I'm saying that Magic City needs to be. And like I said, if you don't complain about the other stuff, I agree. I think you don't have to complain about this. However, as someone who complains about all of it, I'm just saying you can have big wheels and loud music and booty shaking. It doesn't need to be. And again, I'll be honest, I don't know what they were going to bring to the stadium. Right. I don't know. Was it just presented by Magic City? Here's some lemon pepper wings. Okay, cool. But it seemed like it was a lot more. But that's why I say I'm with you.
Yeah.
That that can't be the line that says, well, you can do all this other stuff, but not this. But for someone like me who says, I don't think you should do any of that in a kid-friendly environment.
That part I'm comfortable with.
Have evening games. Okay, you do that.
So do you think that
I'm okay with no kids allowed at certain games? 100%.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
So an 8:30 game. Yes. Okay, no kids are allowed at this game.
18 plus, and we're gonna have Magic City night. We're gonna have Bacardi night. We're gonna have FanDuel night. Whatever the hell it is. Listen, I'm the one who wrote a long ass back and forth. Had a conversation with, at the time, the CFO, Chief Financial Officer of the CFL. The CFL, the Canadian Football League, which always loses money. They don't have the first clue about what they're doing.
Do they have any idea what they're doing in the CFL?
No clue what they're doing. And I said, hey, check this out. You might as well take chances and do things you haven't done before. One,
right?
Have all your games on Sundays only. Go back to the roots of football. Sunday is for football. Start your season right after the Pro Bowl. And go through. So when there's no NFL, every Sunday, I know I'm going to go watch, because the CFL has games on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. You never know when your team's playing. And they still try to do a week by week thing, which is insane. And then 2 or 3, I don't know where I was, 4, I said, have an app. The second you come into the stadium, let everybody scan an app. This is why I'm saying gambling. I said, scan an app and bet a penny, 5 cents, a quarter. You can set your limits.
Mm-hmm.
Every play, it's a run play, it's a pass play, it's an interception, it's a drop ball. Like literally let them bet on everything.
Whatever you want to bet on.
And they will all,
Who
I
wins,
guarantee you,
who wins the coin toss, whatever it is.
You're gonna see so many people going, oh yeah, they're so in fantasy football brought so many fans to football that are watching, is the third string running back going to get 15 yards today because that's what I need to win my pool. They never would have cared. They never would have watched a game. It generated more interest. So that's what I'm saying. I'm cool with you doing stuff.
Sure.
As long as it's makes sense. But
let me ask you this question though, Tone. Because just so you guys know, my man right here, Tone, he's a family man. So this is something that's very near and dear to his heart. So I do understand where he's coming from with that. When you got children, you got a family, and I'm taking my family out for family night. I get that part. Tone, is it because of the undertone of what strippers are or exotic dances? Is that what it, because like the reason why I'm asking this question,
you want for me or what people were complaining about?
The reason why I'm asking you this is because a lot of people, when they hear strippers, they think hole in the wall, dirty clubs. Meanwhile, a lot of these women are professionals.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of these women are professionals and make a damn good living at what they do as being an exotic dancer. And it's not just about hole in the wall clubs and filthy, nasty places.
No, there's
not about that.
Scale feature dance, of course. Yeah.
Yes. What I'm asking, Tone, is it because of the undertone of what exotic dancing is?
This in particular one, no, it has to do completely with a black and white thing. It's a loud music blaring, booty shaking black thing that white people, present company excluded, are very uncomfortable with, and they're like, I don't want to be around that.
Interesting. And
that's why they drew the line. Gambling was fine, right? Booze was fine. Let's be honest. That's why the uproar, because we didn't hear a peep from, who was it? Luke Kennard or whoever? Was it Luke Kennard?
No, it was Luke Cornett.
Oh, Cornett. That's close enough. They all look the same to me. Luke Cornett, right? He never. I'm allowed to say that. You guys. He never said a thing about the gambling or the booze or anything else. This is the line that he draws. Like, come on.
I think it's interesting too, Tone, that when you bring up the black and white thing, because that's totally valid. Like everything is okay until it's about this. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now you'll hear people say stuff like, "Well, I'm not racist. I got black friends," or I work with black people, stuff like that. Sure. But with that also being said, this wasn't a problem with your buddies, having a couple of Heinekens. This wasn't a problem with your man, who you probably ain't associated with, but you know him. That's on FanDuel. But with me, Magic City, which, by the way, Tone, I've never been to Magic City. I've never really been, and I've never been to Magic City. I've never been an exotic dancer fan. Never really been. It never really made sense to me. However, what's going on? It's almost like Chick-fil-A. Like, what's up with these wings? Because apparently people actually come to eat the wings. That's what
it is. It is probably the only, I'll say probably, but I'm pretty safe to say the only place I've ever had food at that was that type of establishment. Because the person I went with was an Atlanta native. And this was like years ago, but it was an Atlanta native. So you have to try. And I'm like, I ain't eating there. And he's like, you have to. And I was like, all right, man. And I'm a bit of, they were good.
Some more of those, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I ordered another couple of pounds. Let's be honest. They were good.
Okay, get some more of those, please.
Well, I ordered a couple of more pounds over here and a couple more pounds over there. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, I can't. That's why I say I've people who know me, like I mean, like, me, people who know me, like, back, even like if you ask anyone that I went to like high school with, they'll be like, nah, he ain't invited to the cookout. Bro's throwing the cookout. Like they know. That's why when I said it, I'm like, it's not about it. Trust me, because I complained about all the other stuff too. It's just do it right. Just say 18 plus, 19 plus, whatever. I know that 21 plus is for booze, but let's be honest. If you're 18, if you're an adult, right? If you're 18 plus, you need to figure your stuff out. Not like, I don't want a 6-year-old looking at That I don't want a 6-year-old looking at gambling. I don't want them look, what's Bacardi? What's, that's
Right.
why they took away all the cigarette ads. Like cigarette companies aren't allowed to advertise on, I believe, on any sport right now.
I haven't seen any cigarette like
They
what's his
in
name?
Canada for sure they banned it. Like there used to be the De Maurier, which is a brand of cigarette. The De Maurier tennis Canadian Open or whatever
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't sponsor anymore. That was gone. They Benson and Hedges, which is another
Mm-hmm.
cigarette, used to do the Symphony of Lights. It was all these fireworks to music, and they would have different countries come in and do this whole thing with music and fireworks. It was beautiful
Mm-hmm.
because it was sponsored by a cigarette. Gone. So it's interesting how who we let kind of influence our children. So that's my rant. Let's get to something positive.
Let's do that. What's on your mind, Tone?
Is Seattle finally getting a team?
I don't understand why the word "finally" is in this, and the reason why I'm not, I'm real sensitive about this, Tone. I am very sensitive about this because I did not, and to this day, do not appreciate the thievery and thuggery that went on in Seattle in 2007. I did not appreciate it, Tone. Yes, you and me are at odds with this. My team.
Oh no, it's not at odds. It's just listen. I had an argument with someone online on TikTok, and I'll say it once and then I'll let you finish. Everything,
not some things or most things.
Everything. Why a team moves. Why certain people steal certain, whether it's music, clothing, hairstyle, everything. If you go down deep enough, the root cause of it all is money. That's it.
My brother actually works in money. He's a manager for a regional manager in up in Jersey for PNC. And the root of all of this, that's what he always tells me. He's like, whenever there's a problem, follow the bread. Yeah. That's what he always says. No matter what it is, follow the money, and then you'll find out who the culprit is once you follow the money.
Someone said to me, I'm oversimplifying things, and I said, I'm not. I'm just I can go 30 levels deep and be like, I don't care if it's racism, I don't care if it's team switching, I don't care if it's violence, religion, anything. If you look at what makes all of those things become evil, not that they're not evil, not that they're not evil on the surface, but all of those things, if you go back, why are they doing? When you ask the why enough, there's this thing where it's like, ask at least 5 whys. If you keep asking, but why? Well, why'd you do that? Well, why'd you think this? Why did it?
You'll get your answer eventually.
Eventually, it's money. It's always money. NBA wouldn't allow black people to play. Why did they let them? Oh, because they're real good at this, and we can make money off of it.
Yeah, we can make some more bread on it.
Right? Like, why are we doing this, that, and the other? It always comes back. Why did Cleveland move to Baltimore? Why did OKC get the Seattle Supersonics? I don't care what thing in the world it is. I'm not oversimplifying it. Just do some. Why did this person kill that person?
Because of the bread.
9 times out of 10, it's either love or money.
It's because of the bread. No doubt about it. So they're finally getting their team back.
Yes, finally.
What I want to make sure that you guys understand, they're not getting a new team in Seattle. We're just getting ours back, right? Yeah. So all of the stuff that Oklahoma City has, you guys can keep all of it. We just want what was ours back.
So the history, the name, all of that.
That's it. All that you could keep the Western Conference Championship banner in 2012, yours. The NBA championship, yours. We're not putting KD winning
the NBA champion 78-79 is ours.
That's up. That's what I'm talking about.
The recent one. Yeah, the recent
one. The one that you won, the one that you just won in Oklahoma City, and nope, that's yours. The Western Conference banner that you have in 2012, that's yours. Yeah. Absolutely. KD winning the league MVP, that's going to be in your trophy case, right? Russell Westbrook winning the league MVP, SGA winning the league MVP, that's all going to be in your trophy case. Give us back what's ours.
Nick Collison's number retired, that's yours.
Give us back, or actually give us back what's ours. And what's ours is the tradition of Seattle, all of Gary Payton's records, Sean Kemp, the 79 NBA champion, the 78 Western Conference Finals champion, the team that had been to the Western Conference Championship and won it in 1996. That team, those teams that were in the playoffs, those teams that were loved so much by Seattle. Give us back what was taken from us, which was our team. Seattle is a basketball city, Tone. I've said this to you numerous times. There are plenty of places that I don't particularly love to go watch basketball. When Shaq was playing in the league, one of my biggest regrets is I never got up to Seattle to see him play. I got up to Portland, not one time, Tone. Never got up to Seattle to see him play. I got up to Portland. I'm talking about everywhere else. I was there. Never got up to Seattle to see him play. And I regret that because Seattle is a basketball city. Great place to watch basketball. Great place to see basketball. It's got a rich tradition. Now, I ain't even just talking about the NBA. I'm talking about the city of Seattle, the amount of ballers that have come out of Seattle in terms of NBA players. It's a great place in terms of basketball.
I've said this a million times. I was this close to moving there. I love Seattle.
Remember you told me about that.
I've seen a soccer game there. I've seen a football game there. I've never seen a basketball game there. But let me tell you, the place was shaking for both the Seahawks game and I forget what the lime green. I forget what their soccer team was called. Either way, it's the fact that they don't have a team is blasphemy.
It doesn't make any sense, though. And Tone, I've said this to you in the past. Since 1979, that was 47 years ago. We're the only city that has an NBA champ, and we don't have our team. Everybody else that won an NBA championship over the last 50, 60 years, they still got their team. We're the only ones that don't have our team. Golden State, I mean, they moved from Oakland to San Francisco. Golden State, they were actually in San Francisco when they won. They moved over to Oakland. I say that I say that to say, with Seattle getting their team back, I mean, we're talking about 28, 29. That's plenty of time to build a new arena. That's plenty of time to get staff. That's plenty of time to get staff together. And I think that this NBA, and I think where we are in terms of tech money, in terms of social media, I think this is a great time to move back up to the Northwest. It's a great time to be back up there.
The other team that has been mentioned is Las Vegas. I think we can pretty much agree, right? It's going to be Vegas, right? It's going to be Vegas and
Tom, maybe you can straighten me out with this because I'm still having a difficulty. Why is it like? What is this hot? Why has Vegas become such a hotbed as an NBA city? What's going on in Vegas that I'm missing? Because outside of the Strip, ain't nothing going on in Vegas. I've been there a number of different times. What's going on in Vegas?
There's a lot of housing kind of built, but I think Vegas has become a destination city. It's starting to actually fade, but it had been a destination city. People are there all the time, so it's like an entertainment hub, right? And then you get the Raiders moving to Vegas. Then you get the Las Vegas Knights in the NHL, and they're doing well. Now Oakland A's are going to be located in Vegas. Basketball is just the next thing, and summer league is always in Vegas. A lot of players, do their off.
They got that right too, by the way, having a summer league in Vegas.
So Vegas is just, although it's funny at the time that they're doing this, is as Vegas is kind of on the decline, but maybe this helps spark something back up to them. I've always said every time they bring in a sports team, I was like, it's dangerous because of the gambling.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at with it, Tone. The first thing I'm thinking is we've already got a problem as it is, right? We've already got a problem as it is, and Adam Silver has already cracked the door for these gambling for these betting companies. He already now you want to put the NBA in Vegas.
I feel like they're trying to. Vegas has gone through many cycles, right? It used to be casinos, and then there was some illegal stuff, and then the mob, and then they tried. If you remember, they tried to make Vegas is for families. They tried to really change its image.
They did try to do that, like make it like Orlando, like Disney. They did try to do that.
That didn't work, and then it was like, okay, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. They embraced that, and so I think it's going through another resurgence of or not resurgence is what they're trying to do, is bring in another resurgence of Vegas because it went through it's going through a downturn right now.
Sure.
So let's make it an entertainment hub. Let's make it less about the gambling. Let's come here and you can watch a game and you can do this. And the facilities are beautiful. If you've gone to the football stadium, the hockey stadium, they're fantastic. They're first class facilities. So I think that's that's going to be.
I could deal with that.
We do,
I can.
And they probably also need a team in the West. So right, because where are we going to put all these teams?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Tone, because now with having, and for those of you on TikTok, my man Tony, he's got a map up of all the teams. Yeah, my man Tone's got a map up. Fluent's got a map up of all the teams in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. Now, I personally think Memphis makes the most sense. And the reason why Memphis makes the most sense, because geographically, they're the furthest east. In addition to them being the furthest east, they're right in the middle, which means that we could put them in the Central Division, right? We could put them in the Central Division with Indiana, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland, right? We can, or if you don't want to put them there, we can very much put them in the Southeast Division with Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando, Miami, and Washington. That works. And again, with that being said, you don't have to worry about travel. Like Minnesota, I do see Minnesota being in the Central Division with Milwaukee and Chicago and Cleveland, but Memphis geographically looks to me like they're the furthest east, and you could put them either here or there, and it just makes the most sense.
So let me give you another scenario. So if we bring in Seattle, okay, where my cursor is, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but in the top, for those that are not watching on YouTube, I apologize. Seattle and Vegas fit into the two states that currently don't have teams, so Washington and Vegas. So hear me out. If we go Phoenix, Denver, Utah, Vegas, LA, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Am I right? Yeah. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Golden State is 7. Sacramento is 8. Portland is 9. Seattle is 10. That is 10 teams in the Western Conference. We then
stopping at Denver.
Okay, so that's your West, which not a lot of travel, like you said. It's all perfect.
I think I know where you're going with this, Tone.
Then we have the Midwest, which is the Spurs, the Rockets, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the I think that's I can't see there. That's the Thunder, Memphis. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Memphis.
Yep.
Indiana, Detroit is 8. Chicago, Milwaukee, Minnesota is 11. So Detroit, so Michigan to Texas is your 11. Okay, that's 21 teams. Well, we have 32 teams. So then the East is everybody else. That's your 11. So now you have, because there's 32. So you have 11, 11, and 10. You have a West, a Midwest, and an East. And it's now you have, you have 3 conferences, but as you expand, you got to do different things. And there you go. And now you have Memphis, who is now properly situated in we'll call it the Midwest. But you can see like a full straight, like if you look at those cities, like these icons, again, sorry, TikTok, that you can't see this. But if you go straight up from San Antonio, straight up to Minnesota, across to Detroit, and then down and make that little square, that is perfect for travel up and down. It's the time zones kind of match up for the most part. And then you have 11. So now you have 3 equal size conferences. And listen, where are you going to expand to next? You're going to probably be over here somewhere and get your 11th team for the West if you want to have 33 teams, whatever. But
like my dude in the chat, Hitch said you're doing too much. See, Hitch, the reason why you think he's doing too much, because you can't expand your horizons. Tone, I'd like to expand on your idea, because what you want to do is you want to take the Western Conference. I got 11 teams over here. I got 10 teams in the Midwest, and I got 11 teams in the East. Now, okay, we got 3 conferences. Chill. That's a problem. No, it's not. You know why it's not a problem? Because what's going to happen is I got 3 conferences. Tone, whoever has the best record, I get a bye. Now whoever's got the best record, just like in football, I get a bye. So now whoever wins between whichever two, whether it's the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference, those champs, you get to play the winner of the Midwest Conference to go to the NBA championship. Now, the question is how, with these 11 teams, Tone, how are we going to divide up the schedule? 1, and 2, how are we going to divide up the schedule, not just in the conference, but how are we going to put it together where these teams are playing a Western Conference team and an Eastern Conference team, are we still doing it the same way where you only play?
It's well, you're gonna play. Yeah, you're gonna play the other two conferences twice.
That's what I was thinking. Like, so am I still, if I'm Portland, am I still only going to play the Celtics twice? Am I still only going to play Miami twice? They come to us and we go to them. Are we still going to do that?
Yeah. And you can play around with it a little bit, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, they're probably going to go away from the East West. I know you don't like this East West Midwest. They're probably just going to go top 16, top 20 teams, right? Like maybe it's the top. They probably expand the playoffs. Yeah. So they might say the top. Let me think. The top. I don't want to say 19. Well, yeah, it would be the top 19 teams make it. The 3 conference winners get the bye, and they do, or whatever.
Sure.
I haven't worked out the playoffs yet. I was just trying to separate the teams first. But
question.
You have a question? Yes.
If you're adding those teams, do they still play? They still play 82 games.
Oh yeah, they play 82 games. Why, you want to make it 85 games?
Well, because
they want to make less games.
Less.
Let's get to the bottom of one thing right now. We're not doing the less thing, and the reason why we're not doing
we're never playing less games.
We're not playing less games.
Too much. We did the math. Too much money.
It's too much, Tone. Too much money. But
billions of dollars.
No, and we're not losing that. Not only are we as an organization, like we're also talking about vendors. We're also talking about people making a living also on top of us making this kind of money. Now, Tone,
can I just quickly say it though, because people are going to say, okay, one, let me just answer a TikTok thing. So the question about what did they do in the 80s and 90s with expansions, they put teams in the wrong place. When Miami came in, they were playing in the West.
That was ridiculous. They were in the Western Conference.
They did not think this out at all.
No, they didn't.
So here's the thing. So the playoffs, the schedules, you need to work that out for sure. Like, I don't even think the conferences, I don't even like the conferences. I just think travel is so easy right now with, chartered jets and planes and, barely any, if any, back-to-backs, all that stuff. I just want everybody to just play everybody, but I don't think I'm going to get my wish there. I think people like the conferences.
Yeah.
That being said, let me just bring this back up again, because for the traditionalists, if you do want to go kind of east-west, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you'd have 15 and then 17. So that's the problem. You'd still have a team that's over here. Like, see this? There's this white patch of states here that have nothing. Again, I apologize, TikTok. There's a strip here where there's no teams. So everyone over there could be east. Everyone over here can be west. The problem is then you get 17 and 15. So you still have a Memphis or a Minnesota that has to go to the west to make it 16.
I want to make sure I'm following you, Tone, because I've added 2 I've added 2 teams from the west.
Oh, here, I'll just count it out from starting from the Pelicans.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus the 2 new would be 15, which means 17 would be in the east. 17
would be in the east, which means that somebody got to come over here in order to even it out. Now, Tone, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here because I am very much a traditionalist. Tone, I think that some of the best rivalries in the NBA came from divisions. So now what you're doing with the conference, with the 3 conferences, that now you're eliminating divisions. So now you're eliminating Chicago and Detroit. You're eliminating Cleveland and Chicago.
No, because those two would still be in the same conference. So that rivalry would still be there.
Well, here's the difference, though. The difference is that when we are now, because with the divisions, what we were doing was we were fighting for position. So us being the division leader in the Southeast, so the Miami Heat win the division, they end up with the 5 seed, and they're battling. They used to battle with the Knicks because they weren't in the Southeast. They used to be in the Atlantic Division, and them winning the Atlantic Division, that used to be for the 1 or the 2 seed in the East.
Yeah, but how many of those rivalries still exist?
And I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem right there.
You'll create new rivalries, right? And listen, let's be honest. Minnesota-Milwaukee, in my scenario, that becomes a rivalry. They're close. Chicago and Indiana, Detroit, Cleveland, those rivalries still remain. You'll still have right now you'll have Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, OKC. Like that's a budding rivalry. And then the East, you'll still have, Philadelphia, New York, Miami, like those traditional ones still exist. So
We do have to do some reshuffling, though, Tone. Even
yeah,
even if
yeah.
you, even if
Here's
you would,
the problem. If that's why I said now you can see my cursor, so it's a little bit better. So this is what I was saying. So see New Orleans here. So
Mhm.
it's got, so if you do it here with this line, there's 15 here and 17, and maybe that's okay, or you keep Minnesota in the West, right?
Well,
Like,
I definitely think Memphis moves to the East. I think
yeah,
Memphis
Memphis
moves
would
to
be
the
the one
East.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think Memphis moves to the East. If you want to move Minnesota to the, if you want to move Minnesota to the West, it does make sense because I think a lot of y'all forget. I think a lot of you guys forget. Just so you know, New Orleans was in the Eastern Conference. They moved to the West because of Hurricane Katrina, and they ended up in Oklahoma City. Well, when they got to Oklahoma City, they ended up developing a fan base. New Orleans did.
New
So
Orleans, not Oklahoma City. That was
they they ended up yes, they ended up New Orleans ended up developing a fan base. So instead of keeping them, because New Orleans already like, well, you can't give Oklahoma City our team. We're still here, right? So instead of moving New Orleans to Oklahoma City, no, we're gonna give Oklahoma City a team, but we know that you've developed the fan base, so we're gonna keep you in the Western Conference. They already were in the East. So I mean, I think that's the way that works. With that being said, I think with the divisions, like we're saying, I think that needs to be restructured. It's very much like what they do in football. I think that in the NFL we need to restructure divisions. If I'm looking at your cursor, Tone, like this should be the Southeast Division: Oklahoma City, Dallas, San Antonio, the Rockets, New Orleans. That's your division. I think the Pacific Division. I think the Pacific Division. When you get Seattle in the Pacific Division, it's Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, Golden State, and both the both the Los Angeles teams, and then in the Mountain Division, we got. Actually, I want to move the Trailblazers to the Mountain
See,
Division.
there's because of this right up here in the Northeast. There's just so many teams that it makes it's. I know what you're saying with divisions, and maybe
Yeah.
this is better. Maybe what I said as conferences,
Mhm.
you make those divisions. So you have the West Division, the Midwest, and whatever, and then split them north south. So you have 5, 6, whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really I didn't go into the details of how that's going to work. But anyways, I'm just happy that they're getting the teams. I think it's about time.
About time, man. About time that Seattle getting their team back. Absolutely. It's about time that they're getting their team back. It's about time that the NBA expanded and gave Seattle. I said this to you in the past, Tone. I did not want to hear any information or any words like exploring and dialogue. I'm not trying to hear that, Tone. I wasn't. That shit was getting my blood pressure.
Let's be honest. You know who else is going to be happy? The owners, because it's going to be $7 to $10 billion per expansion team to buy in, and that gets divvied up among the existing owners. So they're going to love two teams coming in because that's like 20 billion, which means each team gets almost $1 billion each, which is a lot of money. Here's $800 million for doing nothing. Oh, thanks.
Well, wait a minute, Tone. So these two teams that show up, we're looking at like 7 to 10 billion. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Seattle, that team goes for 8 billion, and then this Vegas team shows up, and that team goes for 7. So that's $15 billion. So that money gets divvied up throughout the rest of the league. So I'm looking at what, about another $200 million?
No, 500
for each team.
Yeah, each of the existing teams. So 30 teams. If in your scenario there was 15 billion, so each team gets $500 million. So 500 million.
500 million. Wow, does that work?
Yeah, 500 million times 15 is, or 500 million times 30 is 15 billion. 100%. 100%.
Because 500 million times 10
is
when
it comes to money.
No, I got you. I'm following you. 500 million times 10. That's $5 billion. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I did want to quickly touch on this. We got a lot to talk about, but quickly wanted to touch on it.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who keep saying reduce the games have zero knowledge of economics. Okay, because they're like, oh, they'll play better and it'll be a better product. No, it won't. It
It
won't.
will not.
Because the players, for that to work, to go from 82 to 60, as an example, do
Correct.
you know the first thing that goes down in that scenario?
The first thing that goes down in that scenario, advertisement.
Revenue.
Right.
Advertising be a piece of that. Revenue.
Sure.
How do the players' salary cap get set?
From revenue.
It's 50% of the revenue,
Yes,
which means
sir.
the salary cap comes down, which means
Yes.
the max contracts come down, which means all the players' salaries come down. So
Mhm.
you reduce it by 25%. That means every salary goes down by 25%. So now a player who was making 50 to play 82 games, and I put that in air quotes, is now going to get 40. Well, they're going to say, well, I was getting 50 or 60, let's say 60 to do 60 to play 80, but I was only playing 70. Well, now I'm getting 40, so I'm only going to play 50. So that doesn't change anything. Then on top of that, like I said, the owners lose $2 billion. Well, they're going to try to charge you more for concessions, for seats. Then the fans will start to revolt and be like, what do you mean? It's already too expensive to buy a thing. On top of that, each stadium will lose 600 to 1,000 employees because less games, less people.
We don't need all these people on our staff.
Everything goes down financially, which costs jobs, which costs money, which costs the players money, which costs the owners money. It actually becomes a worse product. In fact, what you probably want to do is up the amount of games and go to 85 games.
That's why they had this playing tournament, this dumbass playing tournament logic going
100%.
on. That's why. For that reason right there. Let's add a couple of games at the end of the season, not because we want it to be fair, but because if we add a 7 to 10 team playoff, that's going to be more bread for us because there's that's possibly 2 more games in our building that we can get money off of.
And here's the crazy part. For those that contract to 60, let's be honest, you know who they're fans of, right?
LeBron James.
They don't want his records to ever be touched. Football went from like 12 to 14 to 16 to 17. It's going to be 18 soon. Trust me, in our lifetime, it'll be 20 for revenue, and all the records go down.
They'd have to expand the season, Tone. If we get to 20 games, it's going to have to be an extra month in the season.
Oh yeah, 100%. And they've already added, like it's already started to a little bit, and they get rid of preseason games to do that.
Sure.
But you'll see that'll happen. What happens when the NBA goes to 85, 90 games, and now all these all-time records, season records, just go?
That's not including the playoffs, by the way.
Nothing.
That's just that's just the regular season when we get to 85 games.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tone and I know how you feel about unions and things like that. I don't think the union will ever go for that. At least not in my lifetime.
NBA has one of the weakest unions.
Nope, that's where we disagree, Tone. I watched Meta World Peace start a riot. He played 10 more years in the league, Tone. He started a riot.
He missed the season for it, though.
Yes, he did. But he played. But he ended up playing.
Championship.
I watched Latrell Sprewell choke his boss. He played 5 more years in the league.
You know what else you saw? You saw them go from 55% revenue share to 50.
I did see that. Yes. Now we had different leadership in the union. Don't leave that part out. We definitely had different leadership in the union. In my lifetime.
Look at this. Look at this nonsense. 66 games.
No,
Starting on Christmas? No, never gonna happen.
I was literally just getting ready to say it. In my lifetime, I don't think that I'm going to see the NBA season get cut to 65 games. No, that's not going to happen. It just doesn't make sense
in your
terms
lifetime,
of revenue.
I'll make you a bet. In your lifetime, you're more likely to see more games in the NBA than less. And you've already saw the plan. Like, let's be honest, you've already seen. And you know what they'll do? Listen, they might. Here's how they might trick you. Okay, we'll go to 80 games, but we're going to expand the play-in.
Here we go.
And then everybody's going to end up playing 85 games.
It's the same trick. You're just using a different hand. That's all. You selling me the same thing. All you're doing is just using the left hand now instead of the right hand. That's all you're doing.
If they do, so now here's the thing. So we talked about 2 expansion teams. We talked about how we would split up the divisions. If 2 teams come in, you then have to have an expansion draft.
Yes, you do.
Is there? It's easy to say. I'm just going to jump right to the meat and potatoes, as you would say, because we only have like 15 minutes left. What all-star or better player do you think most likely would be left unprotected in an expansion draft?
I got a theory for you, Tone.
You can give me 3.
Okay, you're gonna love this. So, Oklahoma City is at the top of the Western Conference. They just signed J-Dub to an extension. Tone, if they end up winning the NBA championship with having him on their books, it's now evident that we don't need him to win. Would they not protect J-Dub?
No chance.
I don't think it is neither. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting that out there to check your temperature. But
hold on, with one caveat.
What's that?
One caveat. If unprotecting J-Dub, who they know one of the 2 teams will pick,
he's the first pick in the draft. He's the first pick.
Allows them the salary cap to sign another max player in his place, 1,000% they do it. So if they have like a side deal, and I'll use this name, although he's probably old and they won't do it, but let's say this was 2 years ago. Hey, Giannis, you're gonna come to us for a max? You got it, brothers. Okay, J-Dub, unprotected, boom, boom. What just happened?
Yeah. I'll tell you what just happened. Some finagling just happened.
I'll give you 3 names.
Mm-hmm.
That 1,000% will be unprotected. Zion.
1.
Trae Young.
No.
100%. The second Washington sees him for a year or 2, unprotected.
That's right. This is happening in 2 years.
Yeah,
this isn't
2 years
that's
away.
right. Oh, that's right.
And he's going to be up for how much money? 400 million? Bye.
No. Another anybody. I'll tell you right now, Tone. Those
superstar guys.
Okay, those Oklahoma City guys. They're getting rated. Yeah. Now, I don't think that
Oklahoma City. They're not getting rated. They're not getting rated.
Tone.
Not getting rated. They're not getting rated, and I'll tell you why they're not getting rated. You forget the most important thing, which when everybody tells me the 90s was watered down for expansion, I give them a backhand across the head. You can only have 1 player taken from your team, and then you're off the table.
You can only take 1 guy.
You can only take 1.
So that's where the problem happens.
You got to remember that. So the second they take 1, so if you just leave, listen, Detroit's a perfect example of someone who you thought got a good player that hurt them. But when I believe it was the Miami Charlotte expansion, they left Rick Mahorn unprotected
after they won it in '88.
And I believe Miami selected him. He refused to play there, and then he got traded.
Minnesota.
It was Minnesota. Okay. Minnesota, and he's like, I refuse to play there. And then he went somewhere else. But the point was, everyone was like, "Oh, Rick Mahorn. Oh, it hurt the Pistons." No, Rick Mahorn was getting up there in age. He was way more money than what he was giving them on the court, and they had a young guy who turned out to be a pretty good defender and rebounder in his own right, Dennis Rodman, who is ready to take the next step. So they said, "Hey, we see the writing on the wall. We can get rid of this big salary for Mahorn, who had starting to get slower, fatter, right? Just it was at the end of his career. We let him go." They get, a veteran guy, although, again, he didn't play there. And now we just naturally, now we move Dennis Rodman into the starting lineup. And it worked out perfectly because they win back-to-back championships. Although I think they won the first one with Mahorn and then the second one without him. So you'll see stuff like that where it's an older guy who's just like, okay, we're going to let. But for the most part, if you look like Toronto's expansion draft, like, come on, their starting center was Jean Tabak. Tell me one person who knows who that is.
I don't even know who that is, Tom.
He was there, right? But that's the kind of player they got. Jean Tabak, like Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams. They got nobodies, and no one cared. What was the guy? Carlos Arroyo. Like all these players that no one's ever heard of because they were the 10th, 11th, 12th guy on a roster. Who, hey, you build the roster through those guys because those are the guys they left unprotected. You protect your top 5 guys. It doesn't hurt your core unless you want the person gone. That's why I say, like, there's teams who've been trying to trade guys, and they don't want to do the, Dame Lillard would have been on the expansion list.
The problem that I'm running into, Tone, is we're in the 25-26 season. They're talking about expanding. and these teams are official in 28, 29. That's 3 years from now. These rosters are going to look way different. These rosters are going to look so much more different today. I mean, then than they do today. I mean,
will LeBron have retired by then?
He better be. He better not still be around 3 years from now. Holy shit, Tony. He better be gone.
He should wait till he's 50.
Oh my goodness, he better be gone. So there's guys. I mean, Jason Tatum's going to be 30 years old. Donovan Mitchell is going to be in his 30s. I do think that guys like that are going to be protected. But then, but then you got guys like R.J. Barrett, right? You got guys like Andrew Wiggins.
Those guys will be unprotected for sure.
Tyler Hero, guys
old with names who are making too much money. Those guys for sure. Yeah.
Guys. I think Paul George is going to be gone by that time. But those young guys in Charlotte, I think that they're still going to be there, like LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. I'm not sure if Bridges is still going to be there in 3 years. He may be, but Colin Knipple ain't going nowhere. Now, he's still going to be on the roster. Moose is going to be there. Giannis, 3 years from now, Tone, I'm going to say the uncomfortable thing. I'm going to say the uncomfortable thing. Even though this isn't a season-ending injury with Giannis,
no,
I think that
he's done.
I just feel like there's a part of me that feels like I'm not there. I'm in the neighborhood of I'm not at the beginning yet, but I feel like I'm in the neighborhood of the beginning of the end of Giannis. Like
no,
another
I think Giannis is done. You don't want to, you're beating around the bush. Giannis is done. Now, does that mean he's over? Does that mean that he can't come in and put up a bunch of points? No, he'll still have great games. He will not be, he's not a guy that's going to give you 70, 75 games that's going to lead your team to an NBA.
We're done with those. So we're done with that.
Yeah, he's done.
I still think of him as a high level player.
Can he go to a team like Anthony Davis went to the Lakers, joining LeBron, and have that one magical run? Yeah, he's still there. He can give you that one. He can give you that one. But if he doesn't do that soon, if he doesn't do that in the next 2 years, because he's never developed the other stuff enough.
Well, his game is predicated on flight and athleticism. And when that starts to wane, like now what happens to Giannis? Once that stuff starts to go the other way, like when he can't run as fast and he can't jump as high, like does he have that intermediate game that he can still be elite? And not necessarily 30 and 10. I ain't even talking about that. But does he have that intermediate game where he can still be one of the 5-10 best players in the game? I'm not sure.
TikTok, send us your questions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to answer some of them. Send them to him over there and me over here.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go to University of Michigan for college and be in big debt, or Minnesota for very little?
I think that the University of Michigan, I think that it is a better school, but going to University of Minnesota, I mean, I still think you're going to get a good education. That whole Big Ten region, Minnesota, Michigan State, I mean, they're not all the same, but you're still going to get a damn good education at Minnesota.
I say it depends what you're taking, because too many kids come out of poli-sci majors and they're working at Starbucks, communication majors and they're working at Starbucks. In which case, you want to take the least amount of debt on as possible. So, because I think the education's a little crap, depending on what you want to do. Like, unless you need a degree to do a specific job, like. I know people are gonna fight me on that one, but just it depends on what you want to do. Is really
if you go to the University of if you go to Michigan and you study in liberal studies, I mean, give me a break. What are we doing? Like if you go to Minnesota and you're studying art, really?
I would say if you have a choice of schools, why the hell would you stay in Minnesota or Michigan where it's cold and snow? But that's just
probably they're probably from that area. So I mean, I definitely get that. Yeah, he probably from that area. So I
don't know why anybody lives. If it wasn't for certain people holding me here, I don't know why anybody lives kind of north of.
Tone actually wants to pack his things and go, but there's a slight problem. There's a woman and there's some children.
No, I don't want to pack them. My things are packed and ready to go. She just has to say yes. We're out.
You can't just get up and go. There's a woman and there's children there, so you can't just like, no, I'm out.
We've already got a house. We're going to be around the corner from you. We'll be neighbors.
We'll be shooting the show right here.
Yeah, we'll be live in studio every episode. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so I guess it depends.
Yes.
Okay, if you're from Minnesota, bro, and you're taking something, he's taking pre-law.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Go to Minnesota. Do it cheaper.
Tone, I got a question for you, and the question is: are the Warriors and Steph cooked? Are there any way to the Warriors to get back to being a contender?
Not this year. Not this year. Oddly enough, we're going to Detroit and we're gonna watch Pistons and Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Steph plays.
No, he won't play. He's injured. We already saw him play against the Raptors when he was here. So we got all the you saw all the we got all the dap ups and the autographs. It's actually unfortunate I couldn't stay until Monday because we had tickets. We could have gone to see the Lakers as well.
This is a prime example.
Fluent Jr. hasn't seen LeBron play live, and I'm like, no. So it's like that's the one guy he needs to see. I've seen everybody. He's seen everybody else. You name this player, we've seen them.
Yep.
LeBron is hold on. My TikTok is asking me to play a puzzle game. I don't understand what that is. Oh, okay. You haven't? Are you sure? Okay. He hasn't seen KD either, so we need KD and LeBron for Fluent Jr. But just it didn't work out. It's Monday, so
to answer your question, sir. My issue is my man Tone right here is the ultimate businessman, and the one thing that I've always marveled about Tone is Tone knows when to let go. He knows he lives by the. I'll let go of you a year earlier.
Real fast.
As opposed to a year too late.
Yep.
And this Warrior team, as good as Steph Curry still is, what you did was you held on to him longer than you should have. That was the problem. You held on to him much longer than you should have. Tone, it's that car that you have that still runs great, but you know it's getting old, and there's going to come a time when you're going to have to trade it in. Now, do I trade this thing in now and get some real worth for it and get top dollar for it? Or do I hold on to it and try to keep fixing it? And then as I'm fixing it, it's breaking down even more. And now it's losing even more value. I don't want to do that. And I feel like the Warriors they definitely missed the bus when they did that.
I will say this. I think that the Warriors are very loyal and they're doing right by Steph. And I think Steph has shown me to be the type of player who will take the back seat very easy. I think, the reason the whole dynasty of the Warriors happened, granted he was injured, was because he was on a very team-friendly deal. And they were able to do all those. Yeah, and Clay. But Curry's significantly better than Clay. I know people want to put them in the same conversation, but they're not. So I think Curry's the type of player that will, not look to take max money on his last contract. Like I think he's like, or they'll give him the option. Do you want to go max somewhere else, or do you want to stay here for less? So I think he stays for less. I think they build a team around him, and he's okay taking the second, third type role on the team. So I think they can still build around him and be okay. They have all their first round draft picks for the next bunch of years. Jimmy Butler is an expiring contract that they're going to trade away for $50 million. And I think you're going to see Draymond will be gone. I think one more shot if they make the right moves as, look, they're going to have to get a superstar. And Steph becomes your facilitator. It's going to be weird. He's going to be your facilitator and shooting threes and stuff.
We did this already. We tried to do this with Buckets, and it didn't work.
Yeah, but Buckets was listen, Buckets. I love Jimmy Buckets. He was never a carrying team superstar.
Yes.
So that when I say a superstar, I mean like a legit one.
Well, he can. Well, wait a minute though, Tone. He proved that I can get us there. Like Allen Iverson proved
one time,
that I can get us there.
Twice,
actually.
He was also but also later in his career.
Sure.
Injured this year. So what I'm saying is with Draymond and Butler gone and all those draft picks, they can bring in a legit 1 and 2, and Curry as the third. I think they can build a team there. I don't know who those players are right now. I still got to work that out. But when you say, is there a chance? Yes. Is there a chance they can screw the whole thing up? 100%. 100%. But I think you're going to see a lot of moves. I think you're going to see Ant go to Miami. LeBron's going back to Cleveland. Like there's going to be a shakeup this year. There's going to be a shakeup.
I was thinking that was going to be next summer because that's the big free agent summer next summer. But I would not be surprised if I saw
Teams are getting smarter.
Yeah.
Teams are getting
And-
smarter. They're going to trade that guy with 1 year left for a little bit less. Let's be honest, for a little bit less but better than them walking away for nothing.
Which is fair.
Let me go back here. This is actually good. Speaking of kind of the West, or Ant going to Miami, do the Wolves need to fire Chris Finch if they don't win a championship within the next 2 years?
They probably are going to him. It's not that they need to, they're going to fire him. If they keep getting to the West Finals and they don't get over the hump, this is now going to become a system issue. This isn't just going to be an issue of, our players aren't good enough. No, they're going to look at the coach and they're going to look at why aren't we winning? And it's going to be primarily due to the coach. Anytime, especially in the NBA today, anytime a team's not winning, the first person that they look at is the coach. The players are always good enough. It's always, why aren't we winning? It's the system that we're running. It's the coach that we have. He's just not connecting with the players. I think Ime Udoka I think he's skating on thin ice, Tone, to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to be in Houston too much longer. What
did I tell you about Houston being worse than they were last year with KD?
You did tell me that. And I, with my stubbornness, thought, with my stubbornness, I thought that Sengun was going to be the hub, and I thought that he was going to take that next step when it was obvious that he wasn't there yet. Nope. He ain't there yet. Nuh-uh. It just wasn't there. Nope.
I love being right, but I hate telling I told you so. It's KD, man. He's not him. Yeah. He's busy on his burners. I think it's time. I'll send the link out, and maybe we'll say goodbye to the Tickety Talk. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Y'all know who we are. This is my man, Tony Tone, a.k.a. Fluent Chill. That's me right here. We do this every Tuesday night. Me and my man right here on the Sports Fluent Network and the Chilltown Hoops Network on YouTube. This is where you can find us, or right here. So we will see you guys next week. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I just talked to my mother Saturday. She just called me. I just talked to my mother on Saturday. Call your mother. We will see you guys soon, but until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was dope. No doubt.
I wish I knew how to end TikTok more smoother. I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
All you got to do, press the button. Press the button.
Why is this taking so long?
Uh-huh.
What the heck? There we go. I got it now. All right. Sorry about that, YouTubers. This is very important. KD is not a superstar.
Tone did say that. Yes, he did say that.
And I was right. And I was right. He's not. Listen, by my definition of superstar, and I've told you this before, I hold a higher level of standard for Hall of Famers, for superstars. I think at any given time, there's maybe 3 to 5 superstars. Now, Dell, if you remember back in the Players' Choice days, Dell once tried to call me out about saying, when you debated the little dude, you said there was all these superstars in the league, and I swept him 3-0 in that debate. And I said, no, what I did say superstars, but when I say superstar guys who have the potential to be, right? There's more potential superstars in the league right now. A guy who can carry a team to multiple, finals appearances, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. When I say finals, not just the finals. There's more than there's ever been. But on any given year, there's 3 to 5. That's it.
Was Jimmy Butler ever a superstar, Tom?
Not by my standard. Right on the cusp, but never. No, and part of that is you can't just decide to show up in the playoffs.
I mean, he was making all-pro team. He was making all-league defensive team. He was doing that.
I get it. He's, like I said, he's one of those borderline guys where I'd say no, and then you could make a case. Well, here there's this, stretch where he was just like KD. KD, you can make an argument there was a stretch where he was, at the tail end, like at OKC there. Yeah. But I'm just like, but when I look at the longevity, when I look at your career, and I say, okay, you played 20 years. And someone makes an argument, well, for these 5 years, so what you're telling me is 25% of your career,
So 1 out of every 4 years, you were at the top of the
that's
league.
not enough. That's not enough. Right?
Interesting.
Like, if you can't make a case that half of your career you were at that level, now, does it work better for people who only play 15 years, 12 years? Sure, but if you get too low and you're like, well, he only played 10, like Bill Walton was a superstar for 2 years.
I think 3.
I think 2.
Yeah.
Okay, but 3. But then how long did he play? As a starter, he played 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he was a bench warmer. Not a bench warmer, but he was coming off the bench. So no, there's not enough of that to do it. But 3 years, like, okay, fine. I'll give you said 3. Okay, 3 years. Okay, I'll even give you 3.
That's as far as I'm going with Bill Wall. He was
That's nice.
3 years.
That's
Yes.
nice. All right, we got some people up, so let's start with our friend Joe.
What up?
Hey guys,
What up?
it's good to see you. I was just thinking about the 2 new team. Well, not new, because I know Seattle's not new, but I don't know whether it's just like the Liverpool in me and the fact that there's 2 new teams coming in. But I don't like the fact that the Vegas team is immediately allowed in the NBA, because how it's done in Liverpool or just in general England, it does say it's a footy team who's came in, who's got a lot of money. For example, we had the team Wrexham that Ryan Reynolds put money into, even though that they had all this money and they was almost in terms of now a big name. You still got to climb the ranks. You still got to prove the fact that.
Who do you think? What city you think? You think Vegas
No.
jumped the line? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. I'm
saying
talking Seattle.
Premier League and Champions League, and this NBA doesn't have that though. Is that
No,
what you're
they
saying?
don't.
That's the problem which I have with basketball, because I love the sport, but I do wish that there was and I know it'll be hard to do because we've already got a lot of basketball even getting played in the big league, but because usually in my country it's the top teams play less games and the bottom teams play more.
Yeah.
I think Seattle is more than deserving of an NBA team. They've been in the league. They've got a championship to the name. It says Seattle something that you can't take that away from them. Of course, they deserve to be here, and it got stripped away from them. I fully think that they should get it back. Vegas, however, you've just arrived. You've got, in my opinion, no real. You got no history. You're literally a fresh, brand new team. I can't. But the thing is, though, I can't just put you in the G League and say I want you to see you develop and then come up.
Oh no, Joe, you sound like an elitist. That's what you sound like right now.
Listen, I don't hate it. I think,
and the reason why he doesn't hate it because he's an elitist too. Just so you know.
100%.
Yes, that's why he doesn't hate it. So,
check this out. If the NBA expands to 40 teams,
which he thinks that's going to happen, by the way.
20
He's
teams,
nuts, by the way.
it will eventually. 20 teams
40 teams.
are the ones that are battling for the NBA championship. The other 20 are relegated, and they have to work their way up. And you have
I
to
like that.
top 3 teams move up or whatever, and the bottom 3 teams fall off. Then you don't have to deal with watching Washingtons. Now, okay, some of these teams have gotten better recently. The Washingtons, the Charlottes, this trash that's not even basketball. And then they can play. And then you can have G League teams. Even they can play against G League teams for all I care. Like, they could play extra games. I love that idea. I love it.
Well, you two guys.
I just don't like the fact that Vegas can just come in and show up at the
But Joe, where
Yeah,
where
if you come in as an expansion team, you have to start in Division 2, because then no one can say, "Oh, they won a championship because it's an expansion era." No, they come in Division 2. They have to work their way up. They have to be a top. I don't know what it is, 3 or 5. I don't know how
We're
many.
expanding the league, guys. What's wrong with y'all? We don't have that other thing. We are expanding the NBA. That's what we're doing. We're expanding the NBA tone for revenue. In a city like Vegas will generate revenue. This isn't about you working your way up to get to the NBA. Vegas has always been a prominent city. What's wrong with you guys? Are y'all crazy?
Hold on. So I got Vegas, Seattle, Kansas City, Montreal, Vancouver, Mexico City. I'm already at almost 40 right now.
Okay, first of all,
your revenue, the TV deals, the internet deals, the merchandise.
Yes. No. Mm-mm. No, absolutely
not.
We'll completely put the Euro League out of business.
Look, I think if you're going to expand the league, just be easy. Let's not add 2 West teams. Do it East and West. bring back Seattle and bring someone fresh in from the. Why are you bringing in two? You're making it more difficult now. We're at the point now we're gonna have to put someone else in the East. Where you probably didn't want to go in the East because it's boring. It's the same three people every time. I don't think Memphis are looking at the East going, yes, we're in the East. Might be because you might get one more wins, but in his entertainment, oh God, we're in the East.
The Eastern Conference isn't is not as whack as you think it is. The Eastern Conference is a lot tougher than you think it is, Joe.
It's
But
not
we got to roll,
entertaining.
Joe. It's good to talk to you, brother. We got to keep it rolling, my man.
Appreciate you, Joe. I don't think the East is better than we think it is.
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, neither. No.
Really?
This is not 2005 anymore, Tone. The Eastern Conference is a lot more competitive today than it was a year ago, even 3 years ago.
How can you say the East is more competitive when the second place team up until 2 weeks ago didn't have their best player?
The second place team up until 2 weeks ago, the same way I can say that the best team in the NBA about a little less than a month ago, the best team in the NBA record-wise was in the Eastern Conference. And on top of that,
because they were playing the Pacers and the Wizards and the Nets
and just like them,
and the Bulls and the Bucks, who all stink.
And just like they're playing the Pistons, just like the Pistons are playing the Wizards and the Pacers, the Oklahoma City Thunder are playing the Jazz and Sacramento and the Pelicans, who actually are getting better, but also the Bulls. Charlotte's gotten better. Let
me ask you this: how many teams in the West haven't won 20 games?
How many teams in the West have not won 20 games?
Keep in mind, we're 70, 65.
There's only one team. There's only one team in the West that hasn't won 20 games, and that's
Sacramento. How many in the East?
3. And a lot of that isn't just because they're bad; they're decimated by injury. And that Washington team
doesn't that make you bad?
Well, it just because I'm injured, it doesn't. It's not because of a talent issue. That's not the issue in Washington. Like, their best player in Alex Sarr has been out of the lineup. They just traded for Trae Young. I think Washington's making the playoffs next year, Tone. I'm standing on that. Just like you give me the takes about Philly being garbage, and you were right. I'm right about this. Washington's going to make the playoffs next year. And I don't think they're going to make the playoffs by playing their way into the playoffs. No, they're going to be a bona fide playoff team next year. Okay. And by the way, really quickly, Tone, just so we clear, I didn't say that it was better than the Western Conference. I said that it's better than it's been in the past, which is what the East is.
Okay. That's a different conversation. It's better than I thought it would be. They'll say that.
Yeah, it's definitely better than what it was in the past.
Liam, I hope I said that right. What up?
You
got to kick your feet up for my man Liam. This is a therapy session.
No, not today.
Mm-hmm.
I need therapy.
I wanted to kind of run back what y'all were just talking about with like East versus West. The East right now is very interesting. Like, I purposefully like go out of my way to watch mostly like Eastern Conference games, because the talent output on Eastern Conference teams from the 1 seed down to the 10 seed is just it's significant. Like,
Charlotte got Miami almost 30 in a hole, by the way, Liam.
Yeah. Charlotte has made a huge run. Philly was making Embiid work on as many minutes as he could play without hurting himself. And like, obviously, like, unfortunately, Paul George kind of went down. Atlanta, for as weak as their last 10 games have been, does not take away from the fact that they're on a 10-game
You got to win the games that you're supposed to win. You have to.
Miami is on a tear.
And Charlotte Orlando's
starting to figure it out. Like, the East is so interesting to me. And to, I guess, kind of go back onto the point of what the last guy was saying with expansion teams, moving a team to the East because you're adding 2 to the West is very advantageous for that team, specifically the team that I think is going to get moved being Minnesota. Because if Minnesota moves to the East, Minnesota already being a top 6 team in the West, you make it that much better on them, and it incentivizes Anthony Edwards to stay in Minnesota. So now you're not losing your franchise guy to another team because
Is it because
the
you
West
think it's
being-
easier to win? You think it's because it's easier to win in the Eastern Conference, so he'll be
No,
more
I
apt to
think
stay?
the Eastern Conference, like with the Eastern Conference, a lot of your hard games are going to be spread out and not so top heavy.
I mean, I
Like
think
you have
that's
to
a
pay,
scheduling thing.
but you have to play like for every Phoenix or Clipper or Golden State you play,
Yep.
you have to play an Oklahoma and a San Antonio and a Houston four times in a season. Where like
Sure.
with if you move into the East, you can kind of break it up, and you're not having to play Oklahoma and San Antonio as many times as you are currently.
Fair enough. Fair
All
enough.
All right.
Good to talk
Appreciate
to you,
it.
man.
Thanks,
That's
man.
all
All right, brother.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Before we get to Jacob, we didn't talk about two things, so we'll do a little speed round.
Beautiful.
My Lakers are 9-1 in their last 10 games.
What is? I'm blown away that
Good
that
job.
was the first thing that you didn't bring up.
LeBron James.
It's almost like coming home after you got that note from school and waiting for your parents to bring this up. They waiting for you to bring it up. They already know about it, but they waiting for you to bring it up. So I already knew about it. I was just waiting for you to bring it up. I'm like, when is this?
I don't want to bring any bad. I don't want to bring any bad juju.
When is this dude gonna bring this
Will
up?
you-
Because
Will you call us a legit contender now?
no, I will not. Absolutely not. I won't. And you know why I won't? Is because I know who LeBron James is come playoff time. And he has taken a back seat. And he will take a back seat, sure.
So you think
That's the
he's going to
third option.
sabotage us in the playoffs?
I think that he's gonna
That's what you're
be
saying.
more. I think that he's gonna try to be more of LeBron James.
You don't think
come
he's going to say,
playoff
"Hey,
time.
I'm the third option. I'm Chris Bosh. I'm Kevin Love. I'm going to let them do
I
it."
would love for him to do that because I think that that's the most effective he can be. But I think that come playoff time, they're going to look for him to be more like LeBron James.
Let me ask you this: the Lakers win a championship. Luka Doncic is the Finals MVP. Does that help or hurt? Because all he cares about is legacy. He'd rather lose, like he did in the first year in Miami. He'd rather lose than let a teammate win a Finals MVP. Does he sabotage Luka like he sabotaged Dwayne Wade?
No, absolutely not. I
disagree.
absolutely. I think yes. I think he. If it means winning it, yeah.
All right. Last one, and then Jacob, you're up. We didn't even get to talk about 83 freaking points. The new
Not
single
81,
game,
not 80,
new
not
single
82.
game record. The new single game record in the NBA is held by Bam Adebayo with 83. No one has ever scored more
Actually,
than Bam.
actually,
Broke Kobe Bryant's record.
Just so you guys know, it's the second most because my man over here, it's the second most points.
Is the
by a
most
player in the NBA.
The most points ever recorded in an NBA game.
This is terrible.
It's
But-
fact.
No, it's actually not fact. But
Recorded.
here's the thing, Tone. I think the backlash that he's getting, which I hate, by the way.
And that's nuts. Did they not watch the game? They had
they
to
didn't.
foul him. He was killing them.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
He would have gone for 105.
He had 31 in the first quarter. His season high was 32 for the game, Tone. That's his season high. He had 31 in the first quarter. With 9 minutes, he's got 70. I'm like, and I'm all in with Spo. Spo's like, he's not coming out. No.
I think they should lift him played every single second and try to get him to 100 so that there's a legitimate 100 on the table or 101. And let me tell you this right now. Who is a bigger fan of Kobe than mine? Maybe there's some, but very few. And I'm telling you right now, for all you Kobe fans who are like, it is unethical, I'm going to smack you in your mouth till you can't taste whatever you're eating because it's shit. Because that's what your opinion was. Kobe would have been the first one saying, go for it. Kobe would have been in the stands going, don't take him out. Keep him in. Do it.
Yeah, he would have loved this. Yes, he would absolutely love
it. Insane that they went after him for that. Good.
Yeah.
Should have gone for more. I wish he would have got a real 100.
If we could have made some more free throws, Tone, he would have got to 90.
No, he's 40. Wasn't he like 36 or 43?
If he could have made some more free throws, he would have got to 90. made
How
some
much
more of those.
more than 36 or 43 could he go?
I'm talking about make some more of those of those 43 free throws and
No,
get
he
off
made
the long-
36.
right. So make 38.
If he
Make
if
40.
he goes perfect, he gets 90.
And get off the long ball line. I think he was 13 for 21 and twos. I'm like, yeah, go to the rim more. Go to the rim some more. I think he was like 7 for 22 at the long ball line. No.
Yeah, you probably couldn't. But in that moment, you're like, I thought that was incredible. So we'll finish off with Jacob. What up?
Can you hear me?
What
Yes,
up?
So this might be it is my biasness, but take Las Vegas out and put in St. Louis, because I have to drive 8 hours in any direction to get to a game. I know that throws in a lot more caveats and details.
Yeah.
I'm in like central Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we give the team to Kansas City?
I'm fine with that. If that cuts the drive,
That's one of my teams that's one of my cities that I keep telling him. One, he needs to go watch sports in Kansas City.
Well, here's the thing: they're moving the Chiefs on the other side of the border.
Are they?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I believe so. Or they put in a bid for a place or something. Just because of the surrounding area by Arrowhead.
The taxes and this. Yeah, listen, they're moving my Bears to Indiana. So,
and then they're also, I think it's the 2028 Summer Olympics that are being played in LA. Kansas City is going to be home to, I think, 3 or 4 countries for FIFA play.
Okay.
I don't know how much that would play a role in keeping an NBA team from coming in, but yeah, that would be really interesting because I don't like driving 8 hours.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Springfield, Missouri, and I'll tell you, my favorite part was my favorite part of Springfield was going to Kansas City.
was leaving.
Let's go to Kansas City.
Well,
and also,
I tell you what, Jacob, if you want a team or you want a team closer to you, I don't have any issue with that. Long as Seattle gets their team back first, whoever else comes in.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Whoever else comes in, I'm good.
But, and the question directly kind of for Chill. So, in a realistic world, we could see the Spurs going all the way and winning it all. I don't know if you disagree with that, but
it's possible.
I think so.
I think the Spurs are. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But if they do that and they get a chip, obviously Wemby would win Finals MVP. Yeah, I guess. You say that we're pushing him too early, but if that happens, what then? Because at that point, I don't think we're pushing him too early.
Actually, you're not. I mean, actually, you are, and you know why? Because if he's 22 years old, you do understand that his career is not over at that point. Like, we got to do this for at least another 7-8 more years. Is he going to hold up that long? I'm already on record saying I
hope so.
If I can get a decade out of Wemby, I am so happy.
Chill, you were watching, and this is not biased because of our friend Michelle Beadle. You are watching the emergence of the greatest basketball player to ever exist right in front of your eyes.
I've heard that like 5 or 6 times.
And no, not for me. I've never.
That's what I'm talking about. I ain't saying that just like you like the 5th or 6th person to say that. Chill, yo, Wemby's going to be the best basketball player ever.
If he, I think because of how well the team is doing, it will affect the voters. You could see a Depoy MVP, Finals MVP from Wemby this season, and that will just. The torch won't be passed to him. It will be what it should have been. What it should be is he will snatch it.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further.
Everyone keeps asking for someone to pass it. That's not how it works. Jordan wasn't passed the torch from Magic and Bird. He snatched that. LeBron did not give it. No one gave it to LeBron. LeBron said, "No, this is mine. Thanks," because it was supposed to be Kobe's time, and Kobe's time was cut real short, sadly, because he just took it. That's what it takes. LeBron is still really technically the guy holding it, but he's like, I don't know that I want this anymore. But he can't pass it to anybody. Wemby's going. If he does that, he'll snatch it, and well deserved.
I'm going to take it a step further than that, though, Tone, because I'm on record saying it, and I will stand on it right now. I think Wemby's going to win the league MVP. I think he's going to win the Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to win the NBA championship and the Finals MVP multiple times. I think he's
how many times?
I think he's going to do it more than once, at least twice.
I want him to have 5.
At
that
least
would be
twice.
insane. What's the record for that? 1?
Only once. That's it.
Okay.
I think he's gonna do it at least twice. At least
He's gonna hit the trifecta twice.
I think he's gonna do it at least
That'd be
twice.
crazy.
Yep, that's what's going on. Jake, good to talk to you, brother.
Appreciate you, Jake.
Deuces.
Thanks, brother.
Do it twice, Tone, at least.
I know we're out of time. I know we got to say goodbye, but I do want to say something. Absolutely, I agree with this 1,000,000%. That because one, I hate the name of the Pelicans. I think it's atrocious. But New Orleans should be the Jazz as they were originally. Utah should be the Mountains or whatever the hell, Snow Caps, whatever the hell they want to name themselves. Something, the Utah Mormons. You're not even allowed to play jazz music in Utah, so they should. They should absolutely. There's certain ones they need to change. Like I was so happy when New Orleans let the Hornets go away and Charlotte got to be the Hornets again. Like there's a couple. Now the Lakers, as crazy as it sounds, because it was somebody, it was in Minneapolis's name. You can't change that one. That's too iconic, although it doesn't fit their location. That one, I'm good with the Utah doing that.
I mean, you Tone, being a businessman that you are, you do understand, like with paraphernalia and changing the name and all of that, what that's going to cost us, right?
Do you know how much we're going to make?
Is it going to be more? As long as it's more than what it's costing us to change it, I'm good.
Yeah, we'll make more.
Okay, as long as it's.
Why do you think they keep doing, jersey colors and city editions? Why do you think LeBron keeps putting all those stupid patches on his jersey? So they could sell more. And I got the most field goal attempts field goal made badge. Oh, I've got the most years played badge. Oh, I've got the most finals games losses badge. Oh no, they didn't do that one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, it was good to see you guys tonight. You know where to find us. This is me and my man Tony Tone. That's Fluent over there. I'm Chill. We do this every Tuesday and Wednesday night right here on the Sports Fluent and Chilltown Hoops Network. Right here, you can catch us. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I just talked to my mother on Saturday. Call your mother. We'll see you guys soon, but until then, take it light, but take it.
You didn't like that one?
Thanks for watching Fluent and Chill. Don't forget to like and subscribe every Tuesday at 8 p.m.